He's super hungover, he's angry at everybody, yelling at everybody, and you're kind of...
For almost 20 years, Chester Bennington redefined what it meant to be a rock frontman. He could scream like his life depended on it. He could sing with heartbreaking vulnerability. And off stage, he was known as soft-spoken, kind, almost painfully humble. The kind of guy fans felt they knew. But that wasn't the whole picture. Because every now and then, a different side surfaced. A side his friends noticed on bad days. On tour mornings after no sleep. When the weight got heavy. He'd be hungover, irritated, snapping at everyone. You'd just feel it in the room. Those moments weren't random. They weren't meaningless. They were usually aimed somewhere. And today, we're breaking down 5 artists who, for very different reasons, rubbed Chester Bennington the wrong way. Not out of cruelty, but out of conflict, principle, pressure. And in one case, deep personal pain. And trust me, number 1 isn't who you think. Number 5. The ghost of Linkin Park's past. Before Linkin Park became a global machine. Before hybrid theory shattered records. There was another name quietly attached to the band. Kyle Christner. In the late 90s, the LA scene was boiling. And Kyle, a skilled, driven bassist, was right there during the band's earliest grind. He rehearsed. He tracked demos. He helped build the skeleton of songs that would later define a generation. To him, this wasn't a pit stop. It was his band. But as Linkin Park evolved, something shifted. Behind the scenes, tensions grew. Creative chemistry fractured. And slowly, Kyle was gone. No big announcement. No dramatic farewell. Just erased. As the band's story was retold to the world, his name faded out of liner notes, reissues, and official history. By the early 2000s, it was as if he'd never been there. Kyle didn't take that quietly. Over the years, he spoke to tabloids. He hinted at bitterness. He suggested his work had been used without credit. And while the entire band disliked the noise, Chester took it personally. Not because of ego, but because Linkin Park, to him, was sacred ground. Years later, long after Chester's passing, the tension resurfaced when Kyle filed a lawsuit claiming uncredited contributions to over 20 songs, including material from the Hybrid Theory anniversary release. The band eventually acknowledged his role and settled things respectfully. But the damage, emotionally, had already been done. Chester never publicly attacked Kyle, but he deeply resented what the fight symbolized. That even success couldn't protect something pure from turning bitter. Number 4. The band that sounded a little too familiar. In 2007, a German band exploded onto the scene. Nevada Tan. They were loud, polished, angsty, and immediately successful. But there was a problem. They sounded a lot like Linkin Park. Same structure, same vocal trade-offs, same blend of rap, melody, and distortion. Critics didn't even hesitate. They were labeled the German Linkin Park. And that label bothered Chester more than people realized. Not because he hated influence. He loved seeing artists push boundaries. But Linkin Park's sound wasn't a formula to him. It was survival. It came from trauma, from confession, from wounds turned into music. Watching that pain flattened into a marketable template felt wrong. What irritated him wasn't Nevada Tan themselves. It was the industry rushing to reward imitation over authenticity. In private, Chester would point out moments that felt too close. Lyrics that felt generic. Choruses engineered to feel big without bleeding first. To him, it felt like watching something deeply personal get repackaged and sold back to the world. Eventually, the moment passed. Nevada Tan changed direction. The hype cooled. But Chester never forgot the lesson. That no matter how real your art is, someone will always try to duplicate the surface without earning the scars. Number 3. Kanye West and the weight of the spotlight. On paper, Chester Bennington and Kanye West shouldn't have clashed. Two innovators, two cultural giants, two artists who reshaped modern music. And yet, friction existed. Chester respected Kanye's brilliance. He never denied his influence. But he struggled with what Kanye represented. The rise of the singular genius. The spectacle. The headline-driven creativity. Chester believed in bands. In shared struggle. In earning your voice through years of rooms that smelled like sweat and failure. Ironically, their worlds overlapped. When Linkin Park and Jay-Z released Collision Course, the massive hit, Numb Encore, featured Chester's vocals over a beat originally produced by Kanye. Every performance carried Kanye's fingerprint. And still, Chester felt uneasy. Not about the song, but about the culture shift it symbolized. He worried music was becoming about moments instead of meaning. About attention instead of truth. Every time Kanye redefined the mainstream, Chester felt the ground move. Not out of jealousy, but out of fear that raw honesty was being replaced by spectacle. So Chester responded the only way he knew how. By digging deeper. By getting louder. By refusing to chase trends. Number 2. His own band. This one surprises people. Because Chester loved Linkin Park. He loved the brotherhood, the history, the shared grind. But love doesn't erase friction. And sometimes, the people closest to you are the ones who get under your skin the most. Over time, small things build up. Creative disagreements. Compromises that felt more corporate than soulful. Moments where he felt unheard. He never exploded publicly. He never sabotaged the band. Instead, it came out quietly. Shorter interviews. Distance backstage. Choosing silence over confrontation. Chester once said his mind could become a bad neighborhood. Sometimes, that darkness pointed inward. And sometimes, it reflected off the walls of the band itself. Not hatred. Not betrayal. Just exhaustion. The pressure to always be the voice. The weight of carrying emotion for millions. The fear that honesty would fracture the unity fans loved. So he swallowed it, and carried on. Number 1. Himself. This was the hardest battle. And the one he lost most often. Chester didn't wake up hating the world. He woke up hating the mirror. He talked openly about it. My mind is a bad neighborhood. He was his own harshest critic. Every mistake replayed. Every flaw amplified. Success didn't quiet it. It made it louder. He felt like a fraud standing in front of screaming fans. Like the pain had become a product. Like he was trapped playing the role of someone real, while feeling completely broken. When Linkin Park released Heavy, Chester said the opening line, "I don't like my mind right now," was him all the time. That wasn't poetic exaggeration. That was truth. He wasn't fighting critics. He wasn't fighting fame. He was fighting himself. And when the lights went off, when the crowd noise faded, that voice was still there. So no, this story isn't really about hate. It's about conflict, pressure, and what happens when sensitivity meets a machine that never stops moving. Chester Bennington gave the world honesty in its rawest form. And sometimes, the cost of that honesty is heavier than anyone sees. If this video made you think, if it made you feel, then Chester's voice is still doing its job. This has been JOSBACK Stage Tales, where music stories go deeper than headlines. If you appreciated this breakdown, hit subscribe, drop your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next story.